Good morning, everyone. Boker Tov. So we're enjoying a nice little vacation here in the Catskills in upstate New York. And vacation is a time that's known as a holiday. And this week's Torah portion talks about holidays, Jewish holidays. But there's a difference between a secular holiday and a Jewish holiday. When people go on a holiday, they think about having fun. But on a Jewish holiday, we think about not fun, but simcha, happiness. What's the difference between having fun and having happiness? Fun is an escape from the reality of life. It's a distraction. Let's go have some fun and forget about the struggles or the stresses of daily life. Happiness is when you celebrate life and confront life and find the true meaning and happiness in life. And here the Sfat Emet, the Ger Rabbi, gives us a beautiful insight into the holidays of this week's Torah portion, which are called Mikroei Kodesh, days that God calls upon us to be holy. And he says, what's the holiness in the holidays? So we know that there are three major festivals. There's Passover, Shavuot, and Sukkot. Says the Sfat Emet that these three holidays represent the antithesis of the three cardinal sins in Judaism. What are the three cardinal sins in Judaism? Murder, adultery, and idolatry. He says Passover is where God took us out of Egypt and destroyed Pharaoh and his Egyptian gods because they murdered innocent Jews, especially babies, which they threw into the Nile and drowned in the Nile. And therefore God is taking us out of Egypt as a rebuke to Egypt and saying, as a Jewish nation, you must celebrate life and value life and see the infinite godly dimension to every human life in the image of God. And therefore when we celebrate Passover, we're celebrating the value of human life. Sukkot is about how the Jewish people dwelled in the desert. We encamped, everyone pitched their own tent. It's about the sanctity of the family. It's about chastity. It's about morality. It's about the family structure. It's, again, a rebuke against the ways of immorality, of adultery, of infidelity. But rather the beauty that comes from the modesty of the Jewish home and the Jewish family. And therefore the holiday of Sukkot represents the second source of happiness. Passover was the first source of happiness, celebrating and seeing the value in every human life. And now comes Sukkot, which teaches us the beauty, the joy that comes from a beautiful family life. And finally, Shavuot is where God revealed himself at Mount Sinai and said, I am the Lord your God, which is the celebration of the third mitzvah, which is belief in one God and a refutation of the sin of idolatry, where we make gods out of money or out of science, and we think we're alone in this world. And God says, no, you're never alone. I am with you. And you have one God who is with you at every moment of life, and therefore you are never despondent and feeling forgotten, because God is always present with you. And therefore that's the source of the third pillar of happiness. And so the three holidays are not just days of fun and distraction. They're days of happiness that comes from knowing that every human life has infinite value. The beauty of family, of sanctity, of modesty, and the relationship that each and every one of us has with God. We are up here in the Catskills staying in a bungalow colony. And yesterday in the synagogue here in the bungalow colony, there was a big kiddush given by a family. I've never been to such a kiddush for such a unique occasion. Tragically and frighteningly, there's a family here that went to the pool on Sunday. A father who took his 3 children. He went swimming with his kids. And when they went swimming, he took them out of the pool. He took off the floaties from his 2-year-old kid, and he turned to go get a towel for one of the other children. Literally a minute later, he turns back around. The kid is missing. He looks into the pool. He sees his 2-year-old child laying flat on the bottom of the pool. He jumps in, rescues his child. His child was already blue and unconscious. Thank God one of the people in the pool knew CPR and revived the child. And thank God the child is perfectly fine now. And you could imagine the joy of not only this family, but the entire community, knowing that this child was rescued just in time. And yesterday the family gave this huge, massive kiddush in the synagogue. And the joy and the singing and the celebration and the words of praise and thanks to God and gratitude that came off everyone's lips as the father sat there with his beautiful 2-year-old son sitting on his lap, thanking God that he is alive and well. And what was so remarkable was that this individual who knew CPR, who was in the pool, said he usually never goes swimming. But something came over him that afternoon. He just decided, it was last Sunday, he said, you know what, let me go swimming. And he happened to be in the right place at the right time to save this boy. An act of divine providence, the hand of God, that he was there at that moment to save this boy's life. And all of us should be so grateful. Someone once came to a rabbi and said, I'm giving a big kiddush. The rabbi said, why? He said, because I was in a car accident and I walked out unscathed. The next week, someone else came to the rabbi and said, I'm giving a big kiddush. The rabbi said, were you also in an accident? He said, no, I'm giving a kiddush that I wasn't in an accident. The fact that every day we're healthy, our family members are healthy, should be a source of tremendous gratitude and joy. And we don't need something frightening to happen in order to appreciate life. That's what the 3 major festivals remind us and bring us to the recognition. A holiday is a day to celebrate the 3 pillars of Judaism. 1, the value of every human life. 2, the beauty of the family unit. And thirdly, the presence of God in our lives each and every day. That is not just fun, but that is the meaning of happiness. And that's why these holidays are known as holy days, not just holidays, and days of simcha, of meaningful joy. Have a wonderful day.